The courtroom buzzed with a mixture of anticipation and skepticism. Today's case had drawn attention not just for its subject matter, but because of the unusual defense attorney standing before the judge. Elijah Turner, a black man in his early 40s, with a reputation that few in the city's legal circles truly understood. Yet, Elijah was relatively new to this jurisdiction, having recently moved from a major metropolitan area where he had made a name for himself as a tenacious defense lawyer with razor-sharp skills. Yet here, many in the courtroom whispered, doubting his capabilities. Some smirked, others outright chuckled when Elijah confidently approached the bench for his opening statements. The skepticism was palpable. The prosecutor, a seasoned and well-respected white attorney named Margaret Ellis, carried herself with a cool assurance, subtly mocking Elijah's demeanor with raised eyebrows and a slight smirk. "Let's see what he's got," she muttered under her breath, loud enough for the nearby court reporter to catch. The case involved a complex allegation of embezzlement against Elijah's client, a local business owner accused of siphoning funds from the company's accounts. The prosecution had presented what they claimed was a bulletproof case: financial documents, witness testimony, and a history of suspicious transactions. The jury looked ready to convict. Elijah's opening statement, though clear and articulate, was met with barely concealed amusement by the courtroom spectators. Some whispered about how young attorneys always tried to make grand speeches that rarely held up. Elijah felt their eyes on him, weighed down by expectations he was determined to shatter. But Elijah's real strength was not in grandstanding. It was in his skillful and unrelenting cross-examination. When Margaret called her key witness, a nervous accountant who claimed to have spotted the financial irregularities, Elijah sat forward in his chair, fingers steepled. He listened carefully as the witness recounted the evidence, every detail feeding into the prosecution's narrative. Then it was Elijah's turn. He rose slowly, his voice calm and steady, carrying the room's attention. "Ms. Simmons," he began, "you testified that you noticed the irregular transactions. Can you tell us how you detected them?" The witness nodded, detailing her procedures. Elijah leaned in slightly. "And these transactions, how are they usually verified?" As the cross-examination unfolded, Elijah meticulously exposed gaps and contradictions. He questioned the timing of the audits, inconsistencies in the accounting software, and the witness's own involvement in key financial decisions. Piece by piece, he revealed that the evidence was not as airtight as the prosecution claimed. But the turning point came when Elijah asked about an internal email chain that had never been disclosed. "Ms. Simmons, is it true that an email you sent to your supervisor expressed concerns not about theft, but about outdated financial protocols?" Elijah pressed. The witness faltered, eyes darting nervously. I don't recall." Elijah smiled faintly. "May I approach the court clerk to produce Exhibit B?" he requested. The judge nodded, and the clerk handed over a printed copy of the email. The courtroom fell silent as Elijah read aloud the damning words that suggested the witness's allegations were misguided, and the true problem lay in poor management, not theft. Even the prosecutor's confident facade cracked. Margaret rose to object, but the judge overruled, impressed by the defense's thoroughness. As the cross-examination progressed, Elijah's control of the courtroom was undeniable. His calm demeanor, sharp intellect, and ability to dissect testimony with surgical precision began to shift the energy in the room. By the time he finished, the once dismissive crowd sat in the stunned silence, some nodding appreciatively. The jury, previously leaning toward conviction, now seemed uncertain. When closing arguments arrived, Elijah's summation was measured yet powerful.